Hey folks, welcome back. This is for StarCraft 2 Strategy, your #1 location for step-by-step strategy and tutorial videos. Today we're going to be taking another look at Void Ray play. This is a Protoss strategy that's very effective versus a Zerg opponent. This strategy is also most effective on the larger maps. I believe the last time we took a look at Void Ray play, it was on this exact map as well. Basically, any map that has a long rush distance, or a long ground distance, and a short air distance is where the strategy is going to be most effective for you. So this is a perfect example of the air distance being very short from base to base, but the run distance just being incredibly long, taking units forever. And the reason this is going to be effective for that, because of that variable, is because you're kind of negating any early game army or early game defense, and you're going straight for that Stargate tech and going straight for those Void Rays and Phoenixes. So obviously a map that's going to take any rushes longer to get to you is going to be more advantageous for you to do this on. So we're just starting off with that basic opening, chrono boosting and some probes, basically just mining hard at the beginning, trying to get our economy up before we do anything fancy. We had that pylon at 9, and we're going to be dropping that gateway at 12. Just very standard stuff thus far. Now again, as I've said in the past, you are not going to do any strategies, and I believe in you guys now that you have heeded my advice, and you will not be doing any strategies until you know that it's going to be effective versus your opponent. You're not going to be making any concrete game-changing decisions until you know it's going to be strong. Now whether that be that you're going for a build that's strong versus whatever race you're playing in general, or if you're going for a build that's going to be a strong response to what your opponent's doing, you shouldn't do that. Shouldn't make such a decision until you are 100% certain of that fact. So we're not going to be committing to this Void Ray play strategy until we know that it's going to work. And I'll tell you in just a moment how we are going to be certain that this strategy will work in this particular game. So we are moving in right now with our probe, and let's just take a look at what we see. So far, all we see is the hatchery. We see no expansion. In fact, we didn't even see a spawning pool. He did not drop his spawning pool until just right now when we moved out. It's pretty late in the game for a spawning pool. He went with an 18 pool. That's very late. What that tells us as the Protoss player is that he's probably planning on expanding early, so we went ahead and took a look at the most logical place for him to expand, his natural. But if you take a look over here, you do see that he actually expanded just to the other side, his other natural, I suppose you could call it. So yeah, I mean, we're expecting him to go for expansion over here because we looked in his base and we saw absolutely nothing, not even a spawning pool. That's like a reasonable assumption for us to make. We tried to prevent any sort of expansion over here, but again, he's not going for that. He's not planning on that because he has this here. Later on, we will scout that out, and our suspicions will be confirmed. So what we're going to be looking to do here, knowing that he's trying to go for that fast expansion, that he doesn't have much at the moment. Again, we didn't see any sort of a Baneling's nest, so we don't really have to worry about a Baneling bust either. So that's going to kind of make us in the position where, okay, we can go ahead and go for this strategy. Now we prepared for this by doing the following build order. We went with that pylon at 9, and then we got a gateway at 12. Now after the scouting information, and after seeing that he wasn't going for an early game rush because he hadn't even had his spawning pool up, we decided, okay, we're going to tech up now, we're going to try the Void Ray strategy. Now when the gateway is about 3/4 of the way finished, we went ahead and we dropped our first assimilator. And what that's going to do is, once the gateway finishes, you're going to drop your cybernetics core, and basically what that's going to do is, as soon as the cybernetics core is done building, you will have so much Vespian from that simulator that you started building that you're going to be able to drop your first Stargate. Now once your first Stargate is started building, you want to go ahead and get your second assimilator, saturate that, go ahead and start building your second Stargate, and then once your Stargate comes out, you want to chrono boost in your first Void Ray. Taking another look at his base here, he doesn't really have too much. He just got a layer. He turned his expansion into the layer instead of his hatchery at his main, and he just is warping in a Spire right now. Now the Spire is going to be a little bit too late. As you can see, our Void Ray is about 50% of the way finished right now, getting another chrono boost off on it. With our second gateway here, we're going to be going ahead and getting a Phoenix. You want to get the Phoenix for that Graviton Beam. Very, very effective, especially at taking out queens and harassing workers. This is going to kind of nullify any ground offense that could be attacking your Void Rays. Now the Void Ray is going to be the majority of the damage dealer. That's going to be just taking care of most of the damage. As you can see, our Zerg player is seeing this happening right now, but there's not too much at this point he's going to be able to do. He only has one queen right here. think he has a second queen somewhere. No, he only has one queen, doesn't even have one that is natural. A little mistake on his part that's just coming in right now. But as you can see, we've got this one Phoenix here in this Void Ray. We're ramping up this Void Ray, trying to get him to that third phase of laser, so he can do the maximum amount of damage. And there you go, we're just lifting up that queen, stopping it from attacking, and then using the Void Ray to take him out. Now once we get a second Phoenix here, what we can do is we can just use both Phoenixes to take care of the queens. One to lift it off, the other one to attack, and then just kind of bounce back and forth. The Void Ray doing massive damage on that third level of Ray. You're going to be able to take down buildings very, very quickly. As you can see, this hatchery is falling from just one Void Ray fairly quickly. Now we do have Mutalisks up. Now our advantage here with these Phoenixes is that they're so quick, and they can do that fire and move now. Blizzard changed not too long ago, changed them to being able to attack while they're moving. There was a point in the beta where they could not do that. They had to stop to attack like a lot of other units. But this attack move makes them much more versatile, makes them a lot more mobile, and allows them to kite around units like this Mutalisk very easily. And as you can see now, all the Zerg player has is that one Mutalisk. We used our Void Ray to take out his Spire, and there's pretty much nothing doing. He decides to leave the game. So yeah, very effective strategy. I mean, you can see that was a fairly quick game. Didn't really take too much as far as effort's concerned. It was just about getting that scouting information, knowing that the strategy would work, and then going about implementing it. So taking another look at the build order here. Again, we're starting off with pretty standard stuff, just getting probes, getting minerals. We went with that 9 pylon and that 12 gateway. Again, when the gateway is about 3/4 of the way finished building, you want to drop your first assimilator. And then once the gateway finishes, go ahead and drop your cybernetics core. Now, as soon as this assimilator comes up, make sure you saturate it. You're going to have 3 probes on it. And what's going to happen is the second that your cybernetics core is finished building, you're going to have enough SBN from that one assimilator to make your first Stargate. Once you start making your first Stargate, build that second assimilator, go ahead and saturate it, get a second Stargate up, and then start pumping out a Void Ray and a couple of Phoenixes, and then go to work on your opponent. So again, guys, this has been 4 StarCraft 2 strategy. If you like what you see and if you like what we're doing here, please do go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Please stay tuned for more videos from us, guys. Keep watching and keep owning.